Hello everyone and welcome back to The Letter. So today we're gonna continue right where we left off, and in the previous video we've witnessed the true horror in this game, and that is dieting. And we've entered the Ermengarde mansion, and we waited for Rose, and I guess she's not there. There's just that ghost. Okay, let's continue. Wait, can I load? No, I can't load game. What? There we go. I'm gonna load game in here. Yeah, I increased the volume because I muted this one because I can hear the game audio and I can't do my intro well. That's happening. So let's just I can't help but feel bad for making her fret. A wave of dizziness washes over me, so I try to get up, forcing me to lie. So as I try to get up, forcing me to lie back down again. Luckily, it subsides after a few seconds, until only a mild throbbing somewhere at the back of my head remains. With a little assistance from Rose, I pushed myself upright. And I'm sorry if I'm talking some of their dialogues. I'll try to refrain from talking if they're talking too, so sorry about that. In the previous video, I've noticed that one. And I'm sorry for hearing dogs outside. Our dog is too noisy.
Alright, Isabella, where are we?
The Ermengarde mansion. Why? Ow, my head.
And the date today?
October 21st? Rose.
Last one. Can you count to 15 in reverse order?
15,
Okay, that's
14, 13, 12, no, that's wrong. Why are we doing this?
So,
She's just checking to see if your injury is in any way serious.
This time, I curiously regard the woman standing beside Rose. It's impossible to overlook her with the way she towers over us. And here I thought Rose is already tall. Yeah, Filipinos are... The average Filipino height is a little short, on the short side of the spectrum. But with how primly dressed she is, I don't think anyone will want to clean the suit and expend the suit at that. The gloves alone must have cost a fortune. Her eyes slowly shift between me and Rose, considering us with an utmost unreadable expression, before finally fixing the sharp gaze on me. Can't help but fold my arms protectively over myself as she does so. She may be far from a cleaning crew, but she certainly looks like my supervisor during my evaluation days.
Just do it, please.
I am them both warily, but recite everything as she asked. Rose released a breath of relief once I'm done.
You scared me for a moment there. I was about to call for an ambulance when you started stirring. Are you alright?
Exasperation soon replaced the dull ache. My memory is a little fuzzy, but the attic and the ghost. She remembered the ghost, right?
There was someone, Rose, in the attic.
Someone? You mean a client? Oh, that's unlikely. It's probably just one of the cleaning crews. The boss sent a few of them back this morning for some last minute...
No, not any of those. They're, I'm not actually sure. Wait, didn't I call you? You said you were in the attic when you answered. That's why I went there in the first place.
Both Rose and the lady look at me like I've just grown another head. Did I say something weird? Probably. Rose cast an apologetic smile at the one beside her, before the awkward silence turns on further. It's her saleswoman smile, the same one she taught me back when I was still her trainee. I should show this to troublesome clients or just to avoid trouble in general, she advised. It's also the one she gives me when I've done something particularly absurd that may cause us to lose a potential sale. Her eyes are serious when she turns back to me. She takes both of my shoulders, gently squeezes it, and with as much patience
as
she can
much
muster.
as I'd love to have gotten at least a heads
I'm struggling
up
to
of
read
your
right now,
arrival,
sorry
I
guys.
didn't even get a call from you. You know, signal here is absolutely horrendous. I was in the garden earlier and couldn't even make a single call.
And I'm eating this
Isabella, I'm going to
Oreo
ask again.
cookie
Are you really
without the
all
cream.
right? What happened?
I don't know. It's all a bit blurry. I remember I was looking for you, but you weren't in the attic. And there's whoever it is. Then I must have tripped on a rug or something on the way down. Oh no. Do you think someone came in while you were out? You left the main door open. We are so going to get into big trouble if something gets stolen, Rose.
Perhaps it is a concussion.
Are you sure you feel fine? We could still call for an ambulance. I could cover for you.
No, I'm
What?
fine. I'm okay, Rose. I can work.
Wait. Hold your horses. Rose? I can't just miss an important sale because of a minor bump in the head. Okay. An extremely minor bump. Okay, I'm getting the hang of it. I've had worse when I was a kid. This is nothing.
Besides, if I leave, you'll have to shoulder everything in the open house, alone. And in a mansion this big?
Well, there's also the part where I may lose that bonus BRC promised. But that's completely beside the point. Okay? Rose gives me a skeptical look when I return the cold compress to her and push myself off the floor. I have to use the staircase railing to steady myself, but otherwise I feel fine.
See? I'm A-okay.
The two of them exchange a worried glance, and Rose assumes a contemplative look. I bite my lower lip in anticipation if he says no.
Alright, you in.
Okay. Smile threatens to slip out
If I
from
see
me.
that you aren't feeling well, I'm taking you personally to the nearest clinic to have you checked. Clear?
Clear as day, ma'am. Thanks, Rose.
You
I'm guessing the
insisted.
other woman.
But remember
other
what
woman
I said.
is
First
the
sign of you
buyer?
looking not okay, and we're off. No questions asked.
It's just a small bump. Don't worry.
You shouldn't downplay these kinds of things. It could be a serious injury for all we know.
Suddenly a small cough sounds against the walls of the foyer, interrupting our banter. The woman is looking expectantly at the two of us, her stare making me shrink back a little on myself. She isn't really intimidating. Well, she is. But not in the scary negative way. Yeah, in a positive, far from it, actually, her demeanor simply commands an air of sophistication and respect. This is why I don't want to record games. In a different world, a younger me would have probably wished to be like her. She coughs again, lifting a well-trimmed eyebrow at me in question. Words caught in my tongue, and Rose, as usual, is swift to catch my own blunders.
My sincerest apologies, Mrs.
Miss.
Miss McCulloch. Marianne McCulloch.
Marianne McCulloch. She hands Rose her business card, and her interior designer catches my eye. Before my partner flips it over. Yeah, I think even if there are misses, I think it's, you know, if you call them miss, nothing will be lost, you know? I think it will sound rude if you call them miss if they're a miss. Yeah, so here's the tip. Just call them miss even if you think they're a misses. Well, the worst thing that could happen is that they'll correct you, which isn't bad. They'll just correct you, and they will probably be flattered because they'll think that you think that they're a miss, you know, or probably someone interested in the mansion for the 17th century influences. Then I won't hold it against her though. Despite the hearsays and remaining uninhabited for years, the mansion's original fittings and furniture have been kept completely intact and restored to pristine condition. I suppose some people find that trip to the past feeling appealing. After all, with what it offers, this place is a definite haven for people looking to live somewhere with a classic historical charm. So after all that ghost thing happened, you forgot about it?
Miss McCullough, I'm Rose Cooper, and this is my partner, Isabella Santos. We're just ironing out a few things, but we'll be starting the tour soon enough. In the meantime, we've prepared some refreshments for you in the parlor while you're waiting. If you could please...
Thanks. There's no need for it, though. I just stopped by for a quick survey of the place. I thought I should check the estate before I meet with the homeowners.
The confused look on Rose's face is impossible to miss when she glances at me. I return it with an equally perplexed look. And against my better judgment, I blurted out the first question that comes to mind.
Homeowners?
I should have kept my mouth shut. Flash of irritation crosses her face, but it instantly disappears under a mask of professional detachment.
Yes. Hannah Wright?
I was hired by her to handle the interior design for their newly bought home.
Okay, so she's the interior designer.
This is the Ermengarde mansion, right?
It is.
Sorry guys about that. Freaking dog's too noisy. I had to stop for a while. God damn. She pauses, possibly trying to find the right words to fix the awkward situation without offending someone. Rose nudges me with her elbow. Let's save here. Wait.
It is, ma'am, but we weren't aware the mansion has already been sold.
I'm gonna check the relationship. Where's her name's Marianne, right? She's over here. Oh, it increased. Nice. Okay, so alright. Those few moments have given me enough time to clear my head of any nervousness or confusion clouding it.
It is, ma'am, but we weren't aware the mansion has already been sold.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? I almost flinch when she turns her gaze on me, but I stand my ground. Besides, it isn't like I haven't dealt with an awkward situations like this before. I may screw up at times, but that doesn't mean I haven't learned a thing or two in the 5 years I've worked in
the mansion
business.
is indeed for sale, ma'am. Today's the open house, in fact. However, we haven't heard anything from the higher-ups that a deal has already been closed for this particular property. If you'd like, my co-agent and me can check with them right now.
She nods, seemingly in deep thought, after I've finished. So the one who's gonna buy the mansion is Hannah. Over here? Hannah? She appears to be a reasonable person. Anyway, given the proper explanation, she'll likely understand.
I thought something looked odd when I arrived here. Excuse me, I think I need to make a call to my secretary. Thank you for your assistance, Miss Santos.
With a slight wave of her hand, she leaves us, presumably to double-check with someone on her side. That seems to be the end of it. Both Rose and I breathe a sigh of relief. Disaster averted. I also don't miss the thumbs up she gives me for doing a good job. I can't help but swell with pride. Still, I've already prepared myself to dial a number to our Luxburn office and check, even if she didn't ask for it. I'll be very frustrated. For some reason, an agreement has already been decided without my or Rose's knowledge. That is a whole new level of unfair. We've been working hard on this. Moments later, Miss McCullough, I forgot how to pronounce her name, looking a little frustrated but an apology clear in her face. I feel a little sorry for her to having go through all this trouble.
There seems to have been a little misunderstanding with my client. If you'll allow it, I'd like to stay and wait for them here. I was informed they'll be dropping by for the open house today. I figured it'd be a waste to just leave after that long drive. I might as well meet him here.
Certainly.
She has a
You can
very,
stay
very
at the parlor
peculiar,
in the meantime,
peculiar
then.
accent.
I'm sure it won't be long before our guests arrive. And, Isabella, I left a few documents in my car. You know where I keep those. Can you please get it for me?
Of course. Rose takes a glance at her wristwatch before tossing me a
And
set of
hurry.
keys.
We've still got a few minutes to double check those papers.
Okay, got it. Give me a few minutes.
The two of them disappear behind the parlor's door. Check out the events. Yeah. Yep. She gave us her calling card. Their departure brings in with a hushed stillness to keep me company, neither confronting nor soothing. This alone is impossible not to think of what truly happened earlier. I wish the memory isn't as elusive as it normally is. Then again, Rose already said she didn't receive any call from me. Was it my paranoia at work? A temporary lapse in my own mind after having heard all those tales about this place? Probably. I want to think of it as such. Better think of it as such. What? I want to think of it as such. Better think of it as such, so I can work in. That's some weird writing, man. Except a small part of my mind begs to differ. And if I'm going to be completely honest with myself, I want nothing more than to leave this place as soon as possible. I don't know what's in this house, and I don't want to know. Keys Rose has handed me dig into my palm, its jagged edges creating shallow ridges on my skin from how hard I am clutching it. It's a cursory reminder of what I still have to do and why I've taken this job in the first place. Hugging my blazer closer to my body, I exit the house to get what Rose asked of me. Just a few more hours, Isabella. Sell the house, get the money. Get rich and get bitches. Get riches. I failed that one. Get what? Get rich and get riches. A flock of people have already gathered in the mansion by the front yard by the time we officially open the doors. I'm not sure whether I should feel baffled or underdressed standing in their presence. Men and women of wealth and status dressed up to the nines in fancy suit and lovely dresses of varying colors compose the medium-sized crowd. Their necks, arms, and fingers are adorned with silver and gold, glinting in the afternoon sun. Some even have ridiculous fancy feathered hats on their heads. I really hope there isn't any magpies living nearby, like in the stories. Those birds will have a field day in this. They are murmuring among themselves, looking at the estate's facade appraisingly, with some arguing whose mansion has a superior architecture. Most of it stops as Rose calls for their attention. They don't look too pleased at being ordered around, but what can they do about it?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Rose Cooper, and this is my partner, Isabella Santos.
Beth Cooper.
We'll be taking a tour of the mansion in 2 groups. Please make sure you filled up our sign-in forms before joining a specific group.
Those who want to look around the first floor, please follow my partner. I'll be guiding the ones who wish to see the ground floor.
Okay, so they call the first floor. So it's different here. We call the upper floor. We call the floor above the ground floor as the second floor in here, and I'm guessing to America as well. So I'm guessing they followed European style shizer in here, since they call the floor above the ground floor as second floor. Oh no, first floor. Yeah. Hearing this, a few wander towards me. They are mostly old ladies who seem daunted at the idea of climbing those stairs.
It's so nice to
Oh, what
finally
the heck?
meet you. When Chief Inspector Lee mentioned that a famous interior designer is in town, I knew
Miss
I had to
McAuliffe
get you.
joins our group. What really catches my eye is the elegantly dressed pair she approaches.
Your confidence in my skills is very flattering, ma'am.
So are they a couple?
I'm sure you won't disappoint, Marianne.
I'm sure you won't disappoint, Marianne.
Oh, you know each other?
Not at all, ma'am.
You mentioned something about a Marianne on our way here, darling?
Oh, yes, I think I did.
Oh, I thought they're having an affair or something. That really intriguing. They must be the clients she was talking about. I might have seen their face somewhere before, some magazine or the television. I can't quite remember. But then again, most of our guests have likely ended up on the news one way or another. I won't be surprised if those two have too. For people who are popular though, they aren't dressed as loudly as the others, and in their simplicity, the couple stands out. The woman in particular is stunning enough to turn the heads of most people in my group, especially the man with the wandering eyes. Yeah, we've got some low. So we're in here now, and we're gonna have to make a choice. Again. The guy standing beside her that doesn't seem to mind though. And if I'm going to be a bit bolder with my assumptions, I'll say he's best seeking the attention. Both of them, in fact, peas in a pod. I think they are brother and sister. If it isn't further, I'll think they are brother if they were a public display of attention. The matching rings on their fingers just cement the fact that they're indeed a couple. Whatever. Couple or not, what's important is we get this deal closed before the current owners can even think of canceling the listing agreement. I just hope one of the people in my or Rose's group is brave and generous enough to buy this mansion. And so, with papers in hand, I'll lead the way. When they aren't whispering amongst themselves, or going ooh and ah over one thing or another, they ask questions. From how the research process went to the history of the place, I answered them all, more than happy to talk about the art piece and architecture mostly. Okay, we've got a new event here. First underground mansion, had a look in the Hana ride. However, I'm careful not to mention anything about the urban legend. Not a good material for sale stock, even if the entire population of Luxembourg knows about it.
Some of the furnishings here are actually the 17th century originals, all of which have undergone a painstaking restoration process just to return. Even the glass thing.
I accidentally skipped it, sorry guys.
Oh, I don't know, but you get the idea, I hope. Especially that one, ma'am. It is said to be a gift commissioned by the fiancé of Lady Charlotte Ermengarde. The mansion's current owners have specifically requested that the restoration crew take great care in handling it. It's a priceless work of art and the most distinctive feature of the mansion.
But by the time I've stopped talking, her attention is already elsewhere.
Isn't this place wonderful, darling? I told you it's not a total waste of your time.
I don't know. Isn't it a bit too small? We might have to break a wall down to have more room.
Well, I think it is just right. Don't you think so, Marianne?
It is splendid, ma'am.
Marianne?
But isn't it a little too early to make plans when no deal has been signed yet?
Never mind that. It isn't going to be a problem. We've got a wonderful legal team to handle everything. Start taking notes, though. I think I've got a few things I want changed before we move in.
They're gonna mess up the mansion. The rest of their conversation gets lost in the chatter of our other companions. I don't want to make any assumptions yet, but the sheer interest is enough to give me some semblance of hope. Oh please, 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 let these guys be the one. Eventually our group reaches the kitchen. Reaches the kitchen. Much like the rest of the house, a great deal of effort has been put into retaining the room's classical appeal. The open hearth at the end of the room, in particular, looks amazing, like the ones I only see in fairy tale books before. And mad props to the cleaning crew. Seriously, after overhearing hundreds of complaints about the soot and tar staining the bricks of how much of a pain in the arse cleaning this will be, they still managed to pull this off, or make it look presentable at least.
The highlight of the room, however, is what's underneath this hatch here.
Oh, don't say anything yet. An underground wine cellar.
This is the first time the guy in gray speaks up, Mr. Luke Wright. My memory supplies from the forms they signed earlier. His sudden attentiveness catches me off guard. Since the start of the tour, only his wife has shown any form of genuine interest in the place. But this time, something lights up his eyes at the mention of the undercroft. So he likes alcohol. Oh, surprising. What's interesting about a basement? I don't understand rich people sometimes. Right now, he just gives me the impression of a child who has just seen what he absolutely wants for Christmas. I always find it cute whenever I see a child act that way, my younger siblings especially. Or in a grown man? It's almost funny.
Yes, sir. It could house around 7,000 to 11,000 bottles of wine.
Truly. And the room, how was it built?
The bricks that were used to build the cellar have been carefully picked for the purpose of maintaining and preserving a constant temperature and humidity in the room. It's a good place to keep your private collection in if you have one, sir.
It keeps the corks in good condition.
Oh, love. Didn't you say before that you wanted to make your own personal vineyard? Perhaps you could start one here.
You know we're going to need space for that, darling.
And this isn't big enough?
If it's space you're worried about, sir, the Ermengarde mansion sits on a 46-acre lot. There's plenty of room for it.
I'm sure he knows.
We were told that the original owners had a horse stable built here before, too.
There's a contemplative expression on Mr. Wright's face, but he doesn't say anything. Further, his wife seems really pleased that he has started to show interest, if only a little. Okay. I smile to myself. I may not completely understand how these people's minds work, but I sure as hell know how to spot a buyer with sincere interest. Score! I can't wait to tell Rose. The rest of the tour goes by without a hitch. After more than an hour, we're able to cover almost every room in the ground floor, and are heading to the parlor. Funny, the first time we surveyed the property, I kept complaining to Rose how big it is. Now I can't even bring myself to care, no matter how much my feet hurt. Maybe this is just my excitement over a prospective sale. When we reach the parlor, oh dog! However, an odd feeling washes over me. Sort of a small goosebumps on my skin, a feeling of being watched intently. Whispers in my ear and shadows dancing, lurking in the corner of my vision. Dark silhouettes that are gone when I turn to look, see what it is. A chill that settles down my spine. My saliva just flew out. God damn. Oh, yeah. My spine making me feel sick, and I started breaking into cold sweat. I can't do this. I need to sit down for a moment. The old ladies group I've been requesting for a break anyway. If I can just...
Everyone, we will be taking a 15-minute rest here before we visit the first floor. In the meantime, please help yourselves to the refreshments and snacks we prepared. If anyone has any questions, feel free to approach me. I'd be happy to help you.
I'll let them sit while I retreat to a quiet corner to recover. It's not what you think. Don't think about it. It's not what you think. I probably just got back as cold. Don't think about it. I'm left alone for a good while. Same words spilling out of my lips in a silent prayer. Until a hand taps my shoulder.
Hello, you there?
Yes, ma'am?
Oh, look at you. Having to show a group around a mansion this big must be exhausting.
Not a problem, ma'am. I'm just doing my job.
What a hard worker. Anyway, Isabel, right?
Isabella, actually. But yes, what can I help you with, ma'am, right?
Please, just Hana. Call me Hana. I just wanted to ask, how soon are we able to move in?
My brain completely stops. The sick feeling plaguing me is suddenly gone, replaced by utter bewilderment. Is she being serious? She looks at me expectantly as I struggle to come up with an answer.
Ma'am, you see, but we haven't even negotiated a price yet, ma'am. We haven't even finished touring the rest of the mansion. A sale would be great and all, but...
She stops me from speaking any further, putting a hand on my shoulder. For a moment with her tight smile, she looks as if she has tasted a particularly sour leather.
Please, sweetie, don't insult me. Money is not a problem.
Yeah, I'm being a little, I'm a little skeptical about this one.
And just between you and me, this place is better off with us than with some old lady who'll probably just fill it up with cats.
I personally don't think there's anything wrong with having cats here, ma'am Hana.
Perhaps I'm still not feeling well, but really, what's wrong with the cats? More importantly, why is she talking about moving in already?
I'm more of a dog person, but you see, this is going to be a gift to my darling. It's going to be our anniversary soon, and it would be so wonderful if you can secure its purchase for us. Why, I can even offer something extra if you help us out with the paperwork.
We actually have I don't really think that would be necessary or appropriate.
And just what are you two lovely ladies talking about here? Leaving me and our lovely interior designer to talk here by ourselves. What would the people think, darling?
Oh, it's just small talk, love. I was asking if she could help me with the paperwork.
I struggled not to wince when her nails dig up to my shoulder. I can't help but send an imploring look at Miss McCullough, who only gives me an apologetic smile and a shrug. So the story progressed. No, nothing.
Yeah, I can give you a fact.
She wastes no time in taking the papers from my hand and shuffles through the bunch. Oh man, Rose is going to be so angry at me for letting her do that.
Wonderful. And Marianne, I'd really love to talk to you about those changes. You took some notes earlier, yes?
I did, Mom. But I really hope that this time...
Excellent. Hopefully you can help us out too, Isabel.
Isabella.
Right. It's a lovely name, Isabel.
This annoying special fucking bitch is so annoying.
It's Isabella.
Yes, that's great. We'll be more than happy to put in a good word to your superiors too, and what's this?
A look of confusion and disgust is apparent on her face. Turning to her husband, he merely shrugs in reply.
An interesting work of art.
Oh, they saw
Not to my taste,
they
though.
saw
I'm
they
sorry.
saw the thing.
Darling, Buttercup, art is a complete overstatement for this garbage.
They saw the
It looks like a
thing.
cheap prop from a D-list horror film.
They saw the fucking thing.
Shush, love. Let the girl do what she pleases with, what do they call this? Oh, forget
Chain
about
letter.
it. At the very least, it's not as dreadful as the one art exhibit I was forced to attend last month. You should have seen it, Marianne. Even you would have been appalled. But I'm sure you'll know what to do with our walls once we get started.
I highly doubt it is as bad as you say, Mom. Nevertheless, you can be assured that my team will only pick whatever suits your tastes. Nothing of this chain letter sort, of course. It has to always work with a palette.
I'm quite sure chain letters these days.
Oh wait, I forgot to read it. I'm sorry, guys. Wait. So it's my turn to be puzzled. What do they mean? Rose and I double-checked everything earlier. Are the papers I had not enough? I wanted to ask what I did wrong. I don't want to mess this up. But with the way Ma'am Hannah is leading the conversation, I'm afraid that's exactly what will happen if I
That's
interrupt
good to
her.
hear. See, darling, isn't she an absolute delight to work with? I can't wait to see how this place will look when she's done with it.
Oh, you don't have to tell me that, Buttercup.
They look crazy. A smile is back on her lips when she turns to me and handed me a strange
I
piece
would
of paper.
still put it away if I were you, though. Otherwise, people might get the wrong impression. Anyway, as I was saying...
I don't hear the rest of what she says after. I can only stare down at the paper at the letter in my hands. The sides crinkle in my grip and my breathing grows labored. Dread quickly fills my mind.
Isabella? Isabella? Are you alright? You're
That
looking
Rose?
pale.
I don't even notice when Rose, as well as the other group during the mansion, joins us in the parlor. I want nothing more than to say that, no, I'm not alright. I want to leave this place, because I remember everything as clear as day. Oh, story updated. It's real.
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Careless. I've been so careless. How do I even tell them that without looking like I've gone mad? Should I even tell them? I'm gonna save here. Where's Rose? Marianne was lowered. I'm gonna try the other option though. The words are stuck in my throat. I want to tell her, I really do. But is she going to believe me? She already dismissed me earlier. It's a concussion, she said. It's not. There really is something in this house, in that attic, in that letter. It's going to go after us. Please believe me.
Is Isabella alright?
Ma'am Hannah's voice breaks through the haze, beginning to cloud in my mind. My mind. Rose is looking down on me, worry etched on her features. I don't even notice how she has removed the wrinkled paper from my hands and pushed me down to sit in a nearby chair. From the edge of my vision, I can make out Miss McCullough asking a passing food server for a glass of water. Mr. Wright stands up in the sidelines, although curious, he appears more inclined to watch the scene than help. They are all as likely to believe me as Rose does. To everyone, whatever's in this house is just a hoax. A cautionary tale for children. Alright. Let's check out the branching tree. Okay, so we can do this. We can show her the letter or just don't show her. So we didn't show her, okay.
Isabella, do you need me to call that ambulance?
She offers me a drink, but I push it away. I need to get out of here before I cause an even God, I can't read. An even bigger commotion. I clear my head, take a breath of fresh air. Anything to take my mind off things. No one's going to be. Oh, sorry about that.
No, I'm just feeling a bit out of it. Excuse me. I'll be back. I just need to catch my breath.
Bowing my head, I mutter a quick apology and gather my stuff to make a quick exit. It doesn't matter. If this place is haunted or not, I've caused trouble, and Rose can be quite unforgiving of behavior like this. I'm almost at the door of the parlor when she catches up
Isabella,
to me.
Wait!
The apprehension must have been quite obvious in my face, because her expression instantly shifts to something gentler, eyes softer, a fond smile spreading on her lips.
I'm not angry.
I know. I'm sorry I ruined this for you.
Oh, I'm knowing you.
Come on, you didn't ruin anything. It's not like we haven't ran into any problems before. If we don't get a deal today, we can always try on a different day. And look.
She hesitates, completely trailing off before shifting her gaze down to her hands, a small gesture to stall. Her fingers are fiddling with a piece of folded paper. It's that stupid letter again. My hands stiffen when she gives it back, but I take it nevertheless more as an automatic response than any desire to have it back. I'll throw it away if I can, but I have this nagging feeling that one way or another, it will find its way back to me regardless of what I do
Rose,
about it.
this is... You have to let them know about...
I know you want us to get this sale so badly. And we've made a lot of plans on how to go about this. I mean, who wouldn't? This is the first time I've been assigned to a property like this. I've sold plenty of houses before, but nothing like what we have here. It's a beautiful house. I'd love to get one of my own if I ever win the lottery. But I think... Look, here's the thing, Isabella. If we are going to do this, work on something, I don't know, this big, I need you in top shape. And the way you are now...
What? Wait. No, I can still work. I just need to get myself together.
That's what you said earlier. I let it go because I thought, hey, it's your own body and you should know more than anyone how you feel. But after this, I really think you should take a break.
You're kicking me out?
No, I'm not. Look, all I'm asking is for you to take a seat somewhere I can see you, and let me handle this for now. You're clearly not yourself, and I honestly could use some time not worrying when you'll fall over or not. The day's not even over, and I'm already feeling the stress. Please, humor me just this once.
She clasps her hand together in front of her, eyes splitting for understanding. Oh shit. And I do understand, to some extent. That doesn't mean I'll feel less awful. Whether at myself, at the unlucky turn the situation has taken, or for her, I don't really know.
I promise I'll give you a full report of what happens after. I'll even let you take the lead tomorrow.
Fine. Okay. I'll step aside for now.
You're upset.
A little, yeah, obviously.
If it's any consolation, I won't tell the boss about today. You know how he is.
Please don't. I don't want a repeat of the lecture I got during my first assignment. He called me a noob. I don't know what that means!
Get wrecked, noob! Get good! At the memory, she dissolves into helpless giggles, which I also join in, earning us strange looks from the guests milling about the door. Talking and laughing like this, it's easy to forget any mishaps that happen. Little things you learn to appreciate, I guess.
So, are we good?
Yeah, we good. I'm still not okay with it, but Rose has a point. Okay? It's better we step out this one for now.
I won't be able to help you anyways if I keep getting distracted like this. Maybe I'll just take a walk outside or something while I wait for you to wrap things up.
Please, just stay put. I insist.
I'm not an invalid, Rose.
You clearly have not seen how you looked earlier.
It's not that bad.
Color hasn't even returned to your cheeks yet. Just stay here, alright? Don't even think of going anywhere. Let me finish what I'm doing here, and then I'll take you back to Luxembourg myself to have that minor bump checked. At least wait for me to call someone who will fetch you, okay?
Okay? She's gone before I can voice one word of complaint. Left with nothing else to do, I find myself drifting back to the foyer. A few visitors linger in the area, some merely enjoying the afternoon sunlight streaming through our stained glass windows. Others can be seen admiring the priceless antiques decorating in the room. One group of elderlies, gathered some ways opposite of me, is occupied in a friendly banter about which one will cost more to buy. A little argument here, and occasional laughter and teasing there. I smile to myself. Conversation reminds me of what I've been missing in these past few months. Rose is probably right, I do need a break. Maybe this afternoon's hangout will help. Speaking of, I should call Ash. It's a few hours earlier from what I've told him, but he did ask for a call once I'm done. Besides, I don't have a ride back. He offered, so I might as well take it. Or bribe him into giving me one. Not that he'll ever accept the latter, personal convictions and all. Honestly, if there's something that I find admirable in him, despite his tendency to annoy the hell out of me, it's that. Or whatever way it works, free ride is still a free ride. There's Rose's offer, but despite what she says, I know she'll be busy for the rest of the afternoon, especially with me assisting. Bothering her for a favor as small as this is the last thing I want to do right now. Couple of minutes and a few prayers asking for a decent signal later, the call file connects and...
Sup, I'm Ash from Deluxe City. Baggers, watch out, can't beat me. Looking for trouble? Better not lie. I'm a cool dude, pretty fly for an Asian guy. Sup, I'm Ash from Deluxe City. Baggers, watch out, can't beat me. Looking for trouble? Better not lie. I'm a cool dude, pretty fly for an Asian guy. Sup, I'm Ash from Deluxe City. Baggers, watch out, can't beat me. Looking for trouble? Better not lie. I'm a cool dude, pretty fly for an Asian guy. Sup,
Okay, enough
I'm
of
Ash
that.
from Deluxe City.
What?
How loud is
Baggers,
this thing
watch
even?
out, can't beat me. Looking for trouble? Better
Oh,
not
Ash is
lie.
in...
I'm a cool dude, pretty fly for an Asian guy.
I think Ash is in the mansion.
My
My eyes started around small crowd before observing an alone figure crouched behind a small group of old people, checking out the decors moments ago. He's facing away from me, fumbling with something in his hands. But I didn't see his face to know whose back it is. I recognize that dumb parka everywhere. Come on, stop it the fuck! After what happened, I'm not in the mood to deal with this.
Of all the times to...
Looking for trouble? Better not lie. I'm a cool dude, pretty fly for an Asian guy.
Ashton Frey!
What happens next is something I should regret later for not recorded. Yeah, you should just record it. He's Asian, but his last name's Frey. Okay, before we confront Ashton Kutcher, I think I'm gonna pause here and I think I'm gonna end this episode here. I'm sorry if there's nothing much that happened in this one. There's just character introductions. Fucking dog won't shut up. Shut the fuck up, cunt. There's just character introductions. Marianne, the wife. I forgot her name. What the? Marianne, Hannah, and Luke, and Ashton. In the next video, we're gonna know who the hell Ashton is. And so yeah, that's for this video. Thank you guys for watching. There's more left to do in this game. Oh shit. There's more left to do in this game. There's more left to do in this video. Thank you guys for watching. There's more left to do in this game. There's more left to do in this video. Thank you guys for watching. There's more left to do in this game. There's more left to do in this video. Thank you guys for watching. There's more left to do in this game. There's more left to do in this video. Thank you guys for watching. There's more left to do in this game. There's more left to do in this video. Thank you guys for watching. There's more left to do in this game. There's more left to do in this video. Thank you guys for watching. There's more left to do in this game. There's more left to do in this video. Thank you guys for watching. There's more left to do in this game. There's more left to do in this video. Thank you guys for watching. There's more left to do in this game. There's more left to do in this video. Thank you guys for watching. There's more left to do in this game. There's more left to do in this video There's more or less doing this game, so stay tuned for more. It's like there's probably like 30 videos of this one. But I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying recording some visual novels for once in my life, or in this channel. So yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying this as much as I am. And so yeah, that's for this video. Thank you guys for watching. If you like to enjoy, share with your friends, subscribe for more. The Letter and some of the games. I'm running this series with Attack on Titan Wings of Freedom. I think when I release this, Attack on Titan Wings of Freedom is already finished. The story mode at least, and I'm still gonna upload an extra content of that. And I'm gonna upload some indie games while I'm finding games to play, so stay tuned for those. And I'll see, and don't forget to click the bell to be notified of future uploads. It helps me out a lot. It keeps you notified if I upload a video, which is great. It helps me out. And I highly appreciate it. Thank you. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.